those shades, Rio's Halloween Comic Club. We're here with an episode of Raincoat. Yep, that's the name of the game, because I messed up, because I kind of forgot we haven't played.
You're still struggling?
Well, not really, it's the fact we haven't played for a week, like over a week.
Right.
And the last time I did, I thought I messed up the save, when in reality I didn't. Yeah,
Did not, right.
Anyway.
That was unfortunate.
Seriously, fucking A.
I mean,
it's annoying because I don't even know if I'll have enough videos for the coming week. Like, because we only made, between the two of us, we only made 4, or not between us, I mean, on each side of each of us made 4, and if we make 7 now, we'll both be up to 11, which, well, actually, no, okay, that will cover the week, but it's not, I'm not comfortable with it. When I did the math, every week
it
takes
feels
12
a bit low,
episodes,
right.
and each week we only make 18, or 19.
Bro, I feel like you're gonna bore people with the math. Let's just carry on with the game.
I think I'm boring you up with the math. Anyway, the week we come out with 12 episodes, and we only make 14 a week, so...
Wait, I am not the culprit.
Right.
I am a victim who was already killed.
No.
So, leave me alone!
Yeah.
Hey, he ran away! After him, Master!
Yeah.
Alright, so, the only thing I wanted to mention before we continue this case was the 2 things I realized. I think I need, is it solution keys? Yeah. I realized that, there was a way to move the first car to the last one, because it does make a circle. Like, there's another way around. So it wouldn't have to be just like BS, like magical powers. And secondly, and obviously they hid the number of the last car for some reason, but I don't understand why, because I can't think of any good reason why you would hide the last one. Like, there's nothing there. Like, it's a
You said the body in the first house infirmary wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't you, sure.
But you went to car 5 after car 1, and discovered his corpse there.
Yep.
How is the corpse transported
Wrong
from
button.
car 1 to car 5?
Can I not run in
require
here?
moving
I bet
past
I can,
you.
huh? Alright.
That's right, if he slipped past us. When did that happen?
I've been playing Mario vs. Rabbids, the sequel again lately, and so I'm just used to trying to hit the run button immediately as soon as there's just open space.
You're in.
Yeah.
Nah, this game's just cutscenes repeated until the actual cutscenes happens. Alright. Whoa. This is kind of cool. I like this.
I mean, I don't know why you'd be surprised. This is the same people who made Danganronpa.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I just think it looks cool and a bit pretty.
This just makes me think of an Only Up or whatever that one is. That one race.
It does make me think of Only Up right about now.
It just makes
But
me think of that one section.
right.
Another mystery that needs to be solved.
Probably went
When
to the
moving the
right.
body from car 1 to car 5, the culprit, what do you think is the answer?
Probably did not move through the train immediately. I mean...
If he'd gone outside the train instead of through it, he could have passed us.
No.
But how did he get out?
Impossible. Impossible.
Right, and all the things you lost.
Impossible.
I like to choose because it didn't matter, because either way it's just the same dialogue.
Right.
Impossible. Impossible.
I've done both
Bro's having a mental breakdown. Oh my god! Bro turned into a full-on furry. Okay.
Nah, he went to Hot Topic for the
Okay.
first time and found that
He went to Hot
Mystery
Topic.
Phantom.
Get him,
Right.
Master! Boom, kill him until there's only a sorry slab of flesh left!
And the reason I know the answer is just because of the fact that I didn't want to theory craft for like a week and then find out my answer was incorrect. So after like an hour, finish, I was like, okay, I don't know why he hit it, so I'm just gonna look ahead. Not too far. I just did like the 6 hour and I think the next one.
More so than I possibly
If
could.
they didn't pass
Because
through
I'm
the
trying to
train,
guess like the narrative of a story as it's going before it happens.
do you think a corpse was brought in from outside?
Whoops.
The
Good,
windows
good.
are all locked shut.
I was about to say, did you miss again?
The door's locked when the train is moving. We know the train never stopped once.
God damn it, I pushed it.
If the
Good job.
windows
Oh
and
my
doors
God.
are shut, there's no way
job.
to get out when the
Okay,
train is moving.
got it.
I
No
fucking
issues
died.
occurred
Almost.
during the
Whatever.
train's operation.
Alright.
Alright, listen, I'm slow. Fuck off. We haven't done this for 2 weeks.
It was fun. I understand.
I haven't practiced
No,
since
there
last
was
week.
something strange. The blackout and shaking that happened when I was in car 2 and car 4. When the blackout occurred and the shaking started, I'm certain something else happened in the train. Maybe it has something to do with the mystery of the moving corpse.
Don't be stupid. So
okay.
what if there was a little blackout and some gentle swaying?
Oh wait, hold on.
Uh-huh.
I admit, there we go. Okay.
So I might have been more on point than I thought originally. Okay, cool.
What do you mean?
Good to know.
I'm sorry, explain your thought right now.
I remember like when they were like the first blackout happened, like I mentioned something like that's a bit weird, like how there's a blackout and they could probably open a door at that point.
Oh,
If
okay,
it was,
yeah.
if it's
Yeah,
correct,
okay, I see what you're saying.
you're right.
Get the shaking and the blackout. They were nothing but coincidences. The blackout was just a bad contact.
God
I
damn
The
it.
shaking was the tunnel air pressure.
Good.
There's nothing odd about that. It's all just a coincidence. It's impossible to include that in a criminal plot.
Come on.
Coincidences.
Yeah.
The blackout was just a
Snag.
bad contact.
You know, I'm not.
Getting
I don't give a shit anymore.
This mystery.
I really can't. I know the answer and the delayed
The
reaction
blackout
is
didn't
so
occur because of a
annoying.
connection failure. It was due to the main control system failing and switching to the backup control system. The blackout occurred during that 1 second when the system switched over.
Hey, he
That
ran
wasn't
away!
a hard thing
Fleeing
to
Phantom
figure
is a bad Phantom!
Is there such a thing as a good
Kill
phantom?
him!
After
Kill
you,
him!
you gotta
Dead!
keep solving the mystery and boom, kill that mystery Phantom!
I mean, that is the plan. That is the ideal.
That is the plan. Yes.
You scared me with
Master,
your
you may know
guess.
the cause of the blackout, but what does that have to do with how the corpse
When?
is moved?
I'm not gonna explain that part.
Just like
The failed main control
okay,
system was in
like
car
which
1,
yes.
where the
Because I
body
guess
swap
at a lot
occurred.
of things.
I know, that's the point.
I'm
You scared me with a guess. I'm not
I'm the
gonna
Charlie
explain.
Day. I'm the Charlie
So,
Day, like
The
leaning
main
over a
control
board
system's
filled with
failure
like strings
must
and
have
paper.
something to do with moving the
That's
corpse.
me.
Yeah.
So maybe the culprit broke the main control system. He must have attempted to stop the train to bring in the corpse from the outside.
But the train never stopped. The operation log confirms the train was moving the entire time. So I don't think he broke the system to bring the corpse in.
Then why did the main control system fail?
It must have something to do with moving the body.
But you're unsure exactly how. Huh. In that case... I knew it! A mystery is blocking you! Anything blocking you in here is also a mystery. So let's solve it to keep on going.
Just like this. Lucky's neck didn't just straight up break from the yoink on the chain.
So this is the question
Last
we're
control
facing
part
right now.
when car 1 was
The main control system must have failed because
disconnected.
something happened in the... If that's true, what exactly happened? If
What's
it's
another
related to
word
the
for what
body
you
being
just said?
moved, then how?
Disconnected?
Master's expression is so serious. He must be
Separated?
thinking hard. Well, as his mentor, I better think
Remember,
hard
we're
too.
talking about a
Probably-
train here.
The main
Right,
control
and how the
system
cars were
failing,
separated.
the blackout, the train shaking. Oh yeah, why did the train shake like that?
Yes, that is the question that they just
There was a
proposed.
blackout
Yeah,
right before
the-
entering the tunnel that was caused by the main control system failing.
Yes. You want to exhibition anything else that won't be a clue at all?
But the culprit didn't destroy
Right.
it, so the blackout happened because... wasn't there some shaking right before the blackout too? After the whole train shook, the blackout... I don't get it.
That's fine.
That's right.
Yeah, don't think
The
about
train
it.
shook right before the blackout. We still don't know what caused that to happen. Whatever it was strong enough to make the entire train shake. It caused the main control system to fail and resulted in a blackout. If it had something to do with moving a body, then what must have happened was...
Ooh! Did I give you the assistance you needed? Close to solving the case now? Then it's time to combine our powers and solve this thing! Let's go, Master! Lay it all out! Try to solve it lickety-split! That's right! Ta-da!
This really is just Danganronpa.
Yeah.
Classic. Back to fundamentals.
Great!
Damn it, I missed it. Alright, whatever. Come on, hit the H. There we go, thank you.
Great!
God.
Good enough. I forget how weird sometimes these game developers are. Okay. I just
Could it be that the first car was
the power
separated
of
from
the
train?
truth.
Huh? Separated? What?
Wasn't big time
Seriously?
window, but sure.
Now, I will say, I have another issue with the discovery I made later on. There's another discovery, but it's not with time.
Yeah. The reason why
Okay.
the main control system failed was because the first car was cut off from the rest of the train we were riding in.
Let's keep going for
Actually,
now.
now that I that's less of a discrepancy and more of a hunch on my part.
Right.
Alright,
Master, I don't really get it.
because the time frame was really
What do
easy.
you mean the first car was cut off?
The shaking happened just before the blackout, right? Huh? Did it just shake?
Right.
What was that? The lights went out for a moment and came back on. At that time, the first car was disconnected from the rest of the Amaterasu Express. As a result, the main control system failed, and after a brief blackout, it switched to the backup.
But why cut off the first car? Why go through all that trouble?
Of course, to move the body in the train car. To do...
Oopsie.
There it is again! It's bigger than
My
ever!
poor dude.
How much longer will this keep happening? I feel like I'm going to suffocate.
No, don't worry. Before too long, you're gonna start
You'll be
like it.
fine.
Now's not
Yeah,
the time
I was
to
gonna say
suffocating.
some people like that.
Oh, don't worry. She'll convert him. She'll convert him eventually.
Again?
That wasn't even a question.
The body was
We need to
transferred
resolve the
along the
mystery
entire.
here.
Given that the first car was cut off, so that the body could be moved. Right, I think I see what happened.
Seems like you got it.
Do you have any idea what
Let's do
this three-letter word could be? I've got no clue. It's not like they just said or anything in the
Hard.
text box. Yeah.
Play it all
Word.
out, Master.
As the magic word that is impossible. Another fucking barrel.
Yeah.
Alright.
Are you ready?
Because no one can predict the word car. Like, it's not like they literally said
It's not like
they said it in the same
it's like
text
a
box
it's
right before
unbelievably
this main game.
simple word. Right.
It was funny too because the first time I did that, I'm like, it can't just be car, right? But it's the only thing that made sense.
I
and I'm
know,
like,
because
it's
there's
so
some
simplistic.
times where it just feels too simplistic. That is right.
It's like, come on, there's gotta be a fancier word for this. And although I guess that might have been a flaw of the first Danganronpa when they had fancy words for certain things or like really outdated terms where it was like, I'm sorry, what word are you looking for? You know?
That's
so
right.
That
He
can be a
transported the
critique
corpse
for
using
certain
the
games when
entire
they
first
when they
car.
expect you to just like
That's why the
know
first car
really
was disconnected.
weird words,
Just get it.
you know?
And this is like the tutorial
Transported the
still, kind
corpse?
of.
With the entire car? Nonsense.
Impossible!
Shut up!
Now he's a furry.
Oh my god. I mean, honestly,
first
this
car
is
is at
getting,
the front of
this
the
is
train.
getting harder and harder.
Afix's
Dude's
corpse
got
was in the
snake
fifth
eyes.
car,
Or
in the
cat
back.
eyes?
I mean, I think they're both similar. They're both just slits.
Even if you detach the front,
Yeah, that's
how
fine.
do you move
It's
it
so big.
all the way to the rear?
Master, don't be scared. Lots of villains transform after they've been cornered.
You're not wrong.
Stay calm. Think. How could you swap the position of the first and fifth cars? If I can answer that, I can solve this mystery once and for all. How did it happen?
That reminds me. Master, earlier when you were talking about the shaking and mentioned the blackout? Blackout only happened once, but the shaking happened twice.
Yeah, it definitely shook 2 separate times. Right before entering the tunnel, and right after leaving it. The first time was when the train car was disconnected. But what about the second? Something happened to the train then, too. The shaking at the end of the tunnel felt similar to when Car 1 disconnected.
There's no point thinking about it. You're stuck in this labyrinth for all eternity.
Master, here it comes! You gotta solve the mystery and defeat him!
Your deductions aren't worth a damn thing.
I
Because
don't
they're
know.
all
We
wrong
got this
from
far.
the very beginning.
I mean, it's not that bad.
Like, sure, we had some leaps in judgment, but to a certain degree, we've been kind of on point in the general. Like Vicinity Life,
Right.
we've been kind of, like, the second that we saw
We've
Apex
been
was
kind
dead,
of
we were
on
kind of like,
track.
okay, what the fuck, you know? Like, I knew it was zilch from the very beginning, like, that's not even a lie. As soon as I saw Apex's body, I was like, okay, zilch, what
Honestly,
you doing? What
right.
are you doing?
So it shook twice near the top.
No, wrong button. Map route, yeah, I think it's probably gonna be that one. Because he's gonna be like, oh, how could you do it?
What of it? You mean the train car was separated and reconnected?
Yeah, that's what I'm
That
proposing.
even matter? Even if you managed to separate car 1, how could it be moved to the rear?
Good job.
The train was always running on the same tracks.
Yeah, you're
There's
not wrong.
no way to shuffle the train cars around.
You're incorrect there, my boy.
What's the truth?
Get it right. I figured this out 2 weeks ago.
No. At that time, not all the cars were moving on the same track. The track that the Amaterasu Express was on separated into double tracks right before entering the tunnel. So by taking advantage of the double tracks, it's possible to switch out the train cars. The first time the train shook was before entering the tunnel, which was caused by car 1 separating. After that, the separated car 1 entered the other track, while the rest of the train proceeded on the main track. The two tracks rejoin after the tunnel. That's where car 1 connected to the end of the train. This is when the train shook for the second time.
You're right! The first car moved all the way to the back!
Normally, it's impossible for a single train car to function on its own. But the Amaterasu Express is special.
Yeah, it's called the train engine that could, or whatever that shit movie was called.
The control
I don't
system
even-
will
I don't-
supply
I don't even
electricity
know.
as programmed to drive the train.
The engine that could, or something.
But all train cars on the train have motors that run autonomously.
Right.
If each train
Probably,
So they-
probably train that could, more
then
than
car
likely.
1 can function on its own! Doesn't that solve everything? It's time you gave up!
No, not really.
Yeah.
That's
It really
crazy.
doesn't,
No.
though. There's still 5 cars. The issue.
What?
Yeah.
Using your method to rearrange the
It doesn't
train cars would connect the
explain.
first car to the end, which would leave it behind the 5th car. In other words, it becomes the 6th car, but that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So, you're telling me you found Avex's corpse in the non-existent 6th car?
Oh, you're right.
Do you get it? You're the one who's wrong. Everything you've deduced is wrong!
No, I'm not wrong. The truth lies just ahead of
I'm
us.
sorry. How can you dispute what he just said? Like, that's not correct.
He's not. Yeah, he's not necessarily wrong
I
right
will
now
prove
either.
it to you.
It just. Okay. Arrow time!
You
It
wanna-
feels like we're back in
you wanna-
DK64.
You wanna know what the answer is? Because you'll figure it out pretty quickly.
Go ahead.
Are you ready to play the Shinigami puzzle? Nice!
It's only
Oh,
4,
sorry. I
because
wasn't even-
1 switched with 5. That's why on the map they're the same layout. So they could play up the fact that, oh, it's totally a different car, when in reality it wasn't. That's why they also burned up the number, so you wouldn't be able to tell. Or I guess technically why, so the detective wouldn't be able to tell, I mean.
Maybe the Amaterasu Express doesn't have 5 cars. What if there were only 4 cars to begin with? If that's the case, then to me, car 1 could be made to look like car 5.
Yeah.
Huh? So, there weren't 5 cars the whole time, but instead 4?
That's why Melanie said the 5th car's door was broken while we were in transit.
But you can access the 5th car, the one at the end. The door appears to be broken and won't open. So, it wasn't broken. The 4th car was actually the farthest one back from the get-go?
I'm sure the real 5th car was left behind at the station when we departed. So so the train took off with only 4 cars. There was another car 1 at our destination. If it connected upon arrival, then the train would have 5 cars again. So the car 1 where I was knocked out became the 5th car at the end of the line. And when I was questioned by the peacekeepers, the car 1 there was another car prepared at the station specifically for this plot.
Yep.
The real car 1 was waiting at the station's platform when all the peacekeepers there would have noticed him. So they were all in on it.
I mean, that's not a surprise. Like, we knew the
That's
peacekeepers
not
were
surprising.
on. We knew the peacekeepers were on.
Right.
Like, we're setting us up. Like, that's
We're
not a surprise.
bullshitting us. Yeah, that wasn't
Or
a
you can assume that the
surprise.
peacekeepers themselves were the ones who prepared the other car 1.
Okay, that part we couldn't have assumed. But yeah, from the very beginning, we knew the peacekeepers knew that this was shady.
Right.
Like,
There
by
was
no
another
means that they were
car
like,
1,
oh yeah, you're
and there would
clearly
be
the
something that sets
suspect.
it apart from the original car 1. For example, the way the window glass was broken in the infirmary will be different from how I broke it.
You mean when you used the fire extinguisher to smash the infirmary's window? So they knew you would do that? That's how they were able to imitate it in the new car 1?
I think I was set up to reach for that fire extinguisher.
Yep.
The fire extinguisher was left in a conspicuous spot in the hallway. They wanted me to use it to break the window.
It was all a trap.
That's how they pulled off swapping the 1st and 5th cars while in transit. It was all a trap to set me up as the culprit. Isn't that right, Zilch?
I don't think it was necessary to break the glass in the same way. Like, technically, I guess they keep the lie, but we were running from the peacekeepers. We had no time to be like, oh yes, this car 1 doesn't have the exact same pattern on the broken glass. If anything, they probably could have not broken glass and we would have been like, oh man, we're getting chased, we wouldn't have noticed it. So whatever.
Right! We're almost there! Let's catch this culprit!
Alright.
That was a pretty solid deduction.
Now I'm blind again, so
Very impressive. Of me foreseeing your potential.
but I still I
Right.
still don't understand.
Awesome.
So what scared me was when you
Doesn't
said
feel like
when you
I
noticed
remember
that
this
the
stuff.
lost power
More
was
like I'm
kicking in.
remembering it.
I thought that if you I was like,
Maybe
wait,
I was
what do
even
you
a
mean you
high-ranking
called it?
detective
And
in
I'm like,
WDO.
and I was concerned you were like gonna call the train losing power.
Right.
Like
No.
I was like, son of a bitch, you better not fucking call this without even I didn't even think of the fact of the power going out. And it was just the fact that if you somehow put it together, I was like, did you fucking look this up or something, Like, that would have been suspect as hell. If you somehow, called, the next, reveal or something, I was gonna be naughty.
Yeah, probably would be suspect. But
Okay, this is
Oh my God.
something new.
Feels different.
Schrodinger's staircase, or
This is just the
Schrodinger's
calm before the storm.
staircase?
Be careful.
What
I
is
think
that?
I messed it up. I mixed up.
Yeah,
I
you
mixed up
definitely
two
did. I
different
know
rooms.
Schrodinger's
Let's
cat.
see. Esther,
Making the first call
Esther's staircase or whatever. I think is the actual name
I'm
of it.
surprised the train
I can't
cars
even
could
remember
disconnect and
my
reconnect
shit.
so smoothly.
Schrodinger,
The train's automatic operating
Schrodinger's
system
box.
must have had
You
it
were right.
programmed before
Schrodinger's
we
definitely
departed.
not the right thing.
Even the trick with the swapping train
I
cars?
forget what that one weird
Probably.
staircase is
It had to
called.
have been done automatically.
I want to look that up.
Well, it'd be easy for Amaterasu. They own the train.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
When I found
Even
out,
if I
Yeah,
obtain the
but
truth
it's
here, won't they just ignore what I say and arrest me anyway?
yeah, that is
I
kind of a
keep
good
telling
point,
you not to worry about it. As long as
Yeah.
it's the truth, the culprit can't escape.
No, they
Why are
can.
you so
Very
sure of
easily.
that?
You can have the truth of a case if they just run faster and get
I
away,
feel like
you know?
some abnormal event will happen just purely because,
Oh,
he solved the
What
case.
is this?
Looks like a fort to me.
Welcome to my crib.
With this kind of protection, I bet the truth is in there for sure. You just have to destroy it.
yes. So we're just playing Clash of Clans. We're destroying his kingdom now.
So the truth is here.
Right.
You can't have the truth. It's impossible to destroy this fortress. Just give up and
Yeah, and it was the MC Escher staircase.
Whatever culprit
Okay.
Yeah,
exists
I
like this,
completely.
You know
It was
we're just
MC
a step
Escher.
away from unriddling this labyrinth. Master, time to show him how dangerous you really are. After all,
What?
he did try to set you up.
I mean,
What? Oh.
What? Hold on. What? How dangerous
My
are
bro-
we? I
my
don't
bro
think we're
be
that
less quick.
dangerous. I think
I
that
mean, my
was-
bro, Twig.
I'm not
He
worried
looked
about
like
that right
fucking.
now.
He looked like
We're
the
so
kid
close
that
to
got
the
eaten
truth.
in the beginning of It.
We gotta do this.
That's who he reminds me of.
It's roadkill time!
And that is where we're calling it today. If you enjoyed this video, did that stuff on the screen. If you have any questions, send them in the comments below or to our Discord server. There's links in that description and our About section, as well as the other medias in those same two locations. On the left is a recommendation from YouTube, and the right is a